friends, alright, so today we are looking at Tony Rice's break on Lonesome Wind Blues from the Bluegrass Album Band Volume 4. Now, this one's slightly different than some of the guitar breaks that we've looked at in the past, mainly because this is the kickoff to the song, right? It gets the song started, so his approach is going to be slightly different than what we've seen in the past, right? His job here is to introduce the song, to get the groove set, and to introduce that bass melody, alright? So, let's play it at 70%, and then we'll break it apart. Alright, so they're in the key of C, and I'm going to be honest with you, I have no idea if they are open position C or if they're capoed on the 5th fret playing out of the G position. I think the solo is fairly accessible in both areas, so at the end I just had to make a decision, and I chose capo 5 playing out of the G position, mainly for this first phrase. I think it's a little bit easier that way, alright? This lends itself a little bit easier in that for that opening phrase. If you disagree with me, awesome. I encourage you to try both, right? It gives you, worst case scenario, it's going to give you more licks and vocab that you can draw from later on. It's just going to go right in your toolbox. Cool? All right, so let's dig into this very first phrase. I am going to be talking relative to the capo, so just be aware of that. Here's that first phrase. Now, he starts on the end of 1 on an upstroke on that G to set it up. And he goes into kind of a cross-picking pattern when he slides up here. This is the phrase that kind of told me I think it's easier to play capo 5 because when I slowed that cross-picking roll down and listened to it, I heard like 2 G's and a D. And I thought, well, you know, it's easy to play that open G and 5th fret on the D string G in this hand shape. Cool. All right, so to set this up, make sure that you're using your 3rd finger on that E, and then that E is going to slide into that G. Cool. And it's just a cross picking roll after that. You know, I'm alternate picking, so every downbeat's a downstroke, every upbeat is an upstroke. If you're not familiar with cross picking or alternate picking or anything like that, practice it because you're going to use it like all the time. It's going to be your bread and butter as a guitar player in bluegrass, so make sure you're good on it. And to get out of that, he has just an upstroke on D. Cool. 2 hammer-ons in a row from E to F natural. And then he kind of has this like reverse inverted G run. Finishes with an actual G run. Okay, that's one of the things about this solo. It's pretty simple, again, because he's trying to kind of set up the harmony and melody for everyone, because it's the kickoff, right? He's not going to do anything super crazy. So that's that first phrase. Check out my transcription notes here in the description of this video if you want to see exactly what those notes are, each of those notes are, and how the timing works. But I think it's pretty easy to grab. Okay. Now the second phrase is almost exactly the same as the first phrase. The only difference is that G run at the end is actually a D run. Okay, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So here's the second phrase. After that first phrase. So you see what I mean? He even sets it up the same with the same syncopation, same cross picking, the same like hammer on. And I mean, it's even the same finger pattern. You're just down a string. Cool. Now after he lands on that open D to get you into the C shape or the C9 shape, this is like I think this is the hardest part of the whole solo right here. Is he's got just a 4-note setup to that C9 shape, okay? To make it happen, there's 2 weird string crossings, okay? You've got a hammer-on from D to E, and then down to G, and they're both downstrokes. and then a big string crossing to the A string, first fret or second fret, and that sets you up for that C9 shape. Okay, that one is kind of tricky if you're not used to those string crossings. That's kind of a big one to do. Okay, now on that C9 shape, so you've set it up. The downstroke's going to be on the C, and then you've got an upstroke to catch that D and the B flat. And then you just kind of can let that E ring underneath it. Right, so that A, G, and then that's that inverted kind of reverse G run going down, and then that G run coming back up, right? Cool. So I'll start from the D run. After he does that final G run, he's got an upstroke on B, and then this is kind of that final phrase. Okay, so right after that, you're going to shift up into third position, and you're going to catch that closed E. Right, so it's a E, D, B, B. Kind of do the same thing on the next string over, shifting back into first position. What are those notes? Okay, so nothing too crazy, right? Just go through it really, really slow. That's E, D, G, D, or sorry. E, D, B, B, G, F, E, D, D flat, down to C, B flat, G, F, down to D, C, D, B flat, down to A, and then land on that low G. Now last phrase, I think that's what he's doing. F sharp, A, G. It could be lower. It could be if he's playing out of open C. It happens so quick, and they're kind of ghosted notes. You might be going all the way down to that real G. I'm not exactly sure. Right there. Cool. So one more time, really slow. Here's the whole thing. That's an upstroke on that low G. Cool? All right. Hopefully that makes sense. Like I said, my transcription notes are here in the description, so you can check that out if you want to learn this yourself. Honestly, I'd ignore all of that and just go transcribe it yourself. You got this.